Yeah, I haven't done a build-up series for a movie in a while now, and with Jason Bourne premiering at the end of the month, I figured I should do a build-up series for that by talking about the Bourne Trilogy. Yeah, you heard me right when I said trilogy. I'm not talking about the Bourne Legacy because nobody cares about the Bourne Legacy. Now, if you remember from a while ago when I did a trailer reaction for Jason Bourne, I had stated in that video that I had not seen the Bourne Trilogy yet, but I gave you all my word as a man that I would see the Bourne Trilogy before Jason Bourne was released. So in order to make that possible, I went out and for a large sum of money, I went and purchased the Bourne Trilogy on Blu-ray. And long story short, these movies, well, they're pretty awesome. I mean, if I didn't feel that way about these movies, I probably wouldn't be doing a build-up series for them anyway, but if anything else, this will be further proof for you guys that I have seen these movies now. So with that, let's delve into the first movie in this trilogy, the Bourne Identity. So the way this movie opens up by itself, I think is really awesome. You see Matt Damon floating in the ocean. He gets picked up by these Italian fishermen. They cut him out of his wetsuit, and you see these 2 bullets in his back. But the strangest thing is, once Matt Damon wakes up, he has absolutely no idea who he is. But what's really peculiar is the fact that he still knows how to do certain tasks. He can still read and write, speak the various languages that he knows, perform simple tasks to get someone through the day, but for some reason, he can't remember who he is, where he came from, what his purpose is. So right out the gate, the movie's already sucked you in because now you want to try to figure out who Matt Damon's character truly is. Now the first clue that Matt Damon has in discovering his identity is this surgically implanted bank account number on his hip. So with that, the fishermen drop him off in Switzerland, and now he makes it to this bank to try to find out more about who he is. But along the way, he decides to take a little nap in this park. He gets stopped by the police officers there who are all like, hey, you can't sleep here, you're gonna have to come with us. But before these officers can officially arrest Matt Damon, he, in a span of about 3 seconds, just drops both of their asses like they're nothing. Which has Matt Damon and us sitting here like, okay, what the fuck? So the next day, Matt Damon makes it to this bank, he gives them his account number, and with that, they give him a deposit box. And the first thing he finds in this deposit box is an American passport with the name Jason Bourne on it. So with that, Matt Damon's thinking, alright, my name is Jason Bourne, that's one less thing to worry about. But strangely enough, as he's going through this deposit box, he finds a ton of other passports with a bunch of different names with his pictures on them, a shitload of money, and a loaded gun. Which now raises further confusion in Matt Damon, or I guess I should now say Jason Bourne's head, into what is going on. It's also at this point that a bank employee has now informed the CIA that Jason Bourne has come and taken his deposit box. So once again, the police arrive, they are ready to arrest Jason Bourne, but once again, through great hand-to-hand combat skills, he's able to elude them. Now after escaping these guys, Jason Bourne now feels that the next step of his plan should be trying to learn about more of these other aliases, notably one that's under the name of John Michael Caine. He knows he has to get to Paris because that's where the apartment is that Caine lived in, and with that, he runs into Marie, and he looks at her and he says, I will give you $20,000 cash if you drive me to Paris. And with that, she's basically like, fuck yeah, get in, let's go. Now I really want to touch on the character of Marie for a second because she is very important to this movie. In the fact that you know that she and Jason Bourne, they're going to be working together throughout this movie. You know there's probably going to be a romance that develops between them, so you need them to have good chemistry. And not only do the two of them have really good chemistry in the fact that you really do buy the relationship that they do develop between each other, but I also love what Marie brings to this movie. Because in a lot of action movies nowadays, the leading actresses in them are usually just these really hot women who are just thrown in there and are completely used as sex appeal. And yes, Marie is undeniably an attractive woman, but she actually contributes in this movie and helps Jason Bourne along the way, which is perfect. So the two of them eventually do make it to this apartment in Paris, but it's at this point that Jason Bourne discovers that his alias, that went under the name of John Michael Caine, was apparently killed 2 weeks ago. But before anything else can happen, someone just busts through this apartment and tries to kill Jason Bourne. The two have a really intense, awesome fight between each other, but yeah, of course Jason Bourne is eventually able to subdue this guy. But before Jason Bourne can really interrogate him, the guy just jumps out of the window and he kills himself. Well, I guess that's one way to avoid answering questions. But it's also at this point, Maria's discovered that there are wanted posters out there for her and Jason Bourne, and that's why there are now people actively searching for them. With that, she and Jason Bourne just hijack a car, and in an awesome epic chase scene, they're able to avoid the police. And that's another thing to really love about this movie. There aren't really any dull moments. The movie has great suspense and great action throughout it that's always going to leave you on the edge of your seat, and it brings so much to it. And later on, Jason Bourne decides to try to go under the name of John Michael Caine to see if he can figure out more about himself. And through a lot more research and investigation that he's gone under, he's able to figure out that he was an assassin before he developed this amnesia. With that, Jason Bourne and Marie, they know they need to keep hiding from the CIA, so with that, they go to Marie's stepbrother's countryside home to remain low there. It doesn't take long, however, for another assassin that goes by the codename The Professor to show up and try to kill Bourne here. Bourne, however, is able to kill this guy as well, but just before he dies, he tells Bourne about their mutual connection between the headaches they have, you know, the mission that they were on, and something about Treadstone. So with all of this information now gathered, Jason Bourne knows he needs to send Marie away with her stepbrother so she can be safe, and now it's time to contact Alexander Conklin, the head of Treadstone. Conklin has been tracking Bourne this whole time, sending assassins after him. He's wanted Bourne in a body bag, but Bourne and us, we've never really been entirely sure why. After a failed attempt to meet with him peacefully, Bourne is able to track Conklin down to his safe house in Paris. And it's at this point Conklin officially reveals to Jason Bourne who he actually is. And that is, Jason Bourne was working for the CIA as an undercover assassin. Conklin had sent Jason Bourne to kill this dictator of Africa by the name of Wasambi. Bourne, however, refused to kill him, and as he was trying to escape, he got shot in the back twice by Wasambi, wound up in the ocean, then got picked up by the fishermen, and then, you know, along those other chain of events, here we are. It all finally just clicks with Jason Bourne. He remembers that all exactly through a huge series of flashbacks. Now he finally knows who he is. It's at this point he tells Conklin that he doesn't want to be an assassin anymore. He doesn't want to be a part of Treadstone anymore. And you know, after Jason Bourne just beats the piss out of Conklin, a bunch of these other assassins are now coming up the stairway to kill Jason Bourne. He's able to kill this fat agent. Another one's coming up the stairs to try to get Jason Bourne. And with no other way of escape, Jason Bourne just takes the fat guy and he literally jumps off the stairwell, and as he goes down, he shoots down the other guy that was coming up, and through the really fat guy's dead body, he's able to break Jason Bourne's fall, and he's able to get up and walk away completely unharmed. And yeah, when you watch that happen, it leaves you sitting there like, well, isn't that just fucking convenient? But you know what, it was a cool scene, so you're able to roll with it. Sometime later, the CIA has decided to abandon Treadstone and pursue a new program, Operation Blackbriar. And at the very end of this movie, Jason Bourne makes his way to Greece. He reunites with Marie, who's been running a scooter shop. So all in all, I think the Bourne Identity is a kick-ass movie. Matt Damon just completely owns the role as Jason Bourne. You could argue that these are probably the movies that he's most well known for. You could certainly say that Good Will Hunting is the movie that put Matt Damon on the map, but I truly feel he really made a name for himself with the Bourne Trilogy. Jason Bourne and Marie, they had great chemistry together. You really did buy their relationship. The movie has thrilling action, amazing suspense, a great mystery. The movie really is just an awesome thrill ride. You're going on this adventure with Jason Bourne. You're trying to figure out who he is with him. The movie does have its conveniences here and there, and I will say, I was hoping the final conflict in this movie would be a little bit more action-packed. But in the end, this is still an excellent spy action thriller movie that anyone can sit down with and have a fun-ass time watching. So that's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.